Hey folks, Dave, the not so evil Viking 13, and today we're taking an early look at the last Battlefield 4 DLC that we know of, Final Stand, early, thanks to the Battlefield 4 Community Test Environment program. If you guys have Battlefield 4 Premium, you can sign up for CTE, the Community Test Environment, and actually play the 4 maps from the upcoming DLC early and help test them. You also get a couple of the gadgets and pickups that are going to be a part of the DLC, and it is cool to be a part of the development. We already caught one really nasty bug early on where one of the new turrets had an invisible wave that it fired that would knock any vehicle more or less off of the map. I picked up some hilarious footage on the first day of testing of that thing in action. DICE was quite quick to fix it. There was a 90 meg patch today that removed that invisible force push that came with this weapon's explosions and stopped the vehicle punting. Funny while it lasted, but very, very annoying. I'm not going to go super in-depth with all of the battle pickups like the Gauss sniper rifle and the XD1, how do you say this word? A Spiter? It's a MKV, a multiple kill vehicle, basically. It's a little rocket-powered drone with a minigun. I'm not going to go into super amounts of detail for all these new gadgets. You guys have probably seen a bunch of videos going up about those so far, so I'll just toss a bit of footage of my experiences with them, although I haven't even seen the Gauss sniper rifle because everyone is fighting over it right now and it's just a battle pickup. But I want to talk first about the maps. One of the first things I've noticed as DICE has been rotating out a new map for testing each day is that these maps are big. And they remind me a lot more of Battlefield 2 than Battlefield 3 or even 4. We're also getting quite a lot of snow maps, and even some night maps in this DLC. The first map that went up was Operation Whiteout, a very cool Arctic map, maybe a little bit too open in places, but I enjoyed most of my experiences on that map. The points are well distributed, and the map has plenty of room for flanking, and at the same time is not super cluttered or too large. It strikes a very nice middle ground. Operation Whiteout was fun enough, but didn't really wow me, so I'm going to move right on to what did wow me, and that was day 2 of the CTE Final Stand testing. That's when they rolled out Giants of Carlia, I believe is how you say that, and this map design-wise isn't anything revolutionary. In fact, I would argue that it is almost an exact carbon copy of Fushi Pass from Battlefield 2. It has the mountains, it has the forest, it has the river gorge that winds through the map and all the elevation changes, but of course updated and looking quite nice in the new Frostbite engine. But this lack of design originality is not a bad thing, and I would say it's actually a very, very good thing. This map really brings me back to that Battlefield 2 style of gameplay. It is a large map, but there are plenty of objectives for infantry. There's plenty of cover for infantry. And what really struck me as I played this map for quite a few hours as soon as it was available was that everything that I did on this map, no matter what class I was playing or vehicle I was using, was a blast. That's a level of versatility that we haven't really seen with Battlefield 4 maps. You know, Battlefield 4 has had its tank maps, or its jet maps, or its quite frequently infantry maps. But looking at Giants of Carlia, I had fun doing everything, and everyone in the chat seemed to be agreeing with the overall assumption that I was making, that this map was just fun for some undescribable reason. It just kind of struck all the right notes. I mean, I've been enjoying the other maps that they've been posting up for testing, but I was genuinely sad to see this map go away and out of rotation. The 4th map for testing is probably going live as I post this video, but I have played the 3rd map, and that was Hangar 21. I'm not sold on this map yet. It's a little bit too open, and the points are kind of weighted towards a very large hangar area, but I did have some fun on this map, most of it being inside of that hangar area. The name Hangar 21 references a very consistent theme that is seen throughout all of the Final Stand maps. If you haven't heard this already, there's a lot of references to Battlefield 2142 actually. You guys may have noticed me driving around in a hover tank on Operation Whiteout, And here in Hangar 21, in the obviously large hangar, we find a Titan under construction. That's right, a Titan from Battlefield 2142. The tech and references to Battlefield 2142 don't go too far. There is that Gauss sniper rifle, there is that MKV interceptor, the multiple kill vehicle, but most of the technology that you can actually use in this DLC is going to be things that have programs already in progress here in 2014. All of these things have a real-life, at least prototype program, even the hover tank. At the same time, you do see a lot of nods to future technology that we do see in 2142. The Levolution on Hangar 21 is activating the Titan's jet turbines and setting off gigantic explosions, which looks amazing, of course, and really makes the Titan under construction feel quite powerful. I love the sound effects as all the engines roar to life. There's even a 2142 reference on Giants of Carlia, where you can see a half-constructed Titan walker, or not Titan walker, what was it called? The two-legged walker that was one of the more or less main battle weapons of 2142. Man, it's been a long time since I played that game. I was really skeptical of all these lore references in a Battlefield game, giving all these nods to 2142. I thought it was a gimmick and just fan service at first, and even being a huge fan of 2142, I think I actually put more hours into 2142 than I did Battlefield 2. I just wasn't super pumped about all of these nods being in Battlefield 4, all these elements and hints of 2142. I've talked a lot about Battlefield 4's bloat, and in my opinion, the game needs less weapons, not more, less weird ways to die, and less gimmicks, but I found DICE to be actually pretty restrained with all of this stuff in Final Stand. None of the weapons are OP, or annoying to use, or to have them used against you, and really the only time that I really found myself aggravated by the additions was when that turret had that ridiculous vehicle punting ability, which did get patched very quickly, as I already said. Other than that quick balance issue, it's an interesting mix of new technology without being overwhelming. For a game that I still think is very bloated, I think these unique weapons actually add more to the table than any previous DLC. And I really can't put my finger on why that is. Maybe I'm just tired of seeing yet another 5.56 NATO assault rifle, or yet another little robot drone thing. At least all of these weapons have a more consistent theme, and like I said, they're both fun to use, and it's not annoying to be killed by them. Detail-wise, I feel like DICE has put more time into this DLC than almost all of the previous DLCs combined. These maps have a ton of unique assets and design features, and you can really feel the detailed and labor of love that went into all of these maps. The hangar area of Hangar 21 is really just fascinating to walk through. There's multiple levels of details, there's working elevators, there's all of these fans going up in the superstructure of the building, and you're fighting across the deck of this massive under construction Titan, and I found myself getting lost in there. And yet, I also had really intense battles that still had a sense of flow and direction, even as I was learning how to navigate around that very confusing and large hangar area. So not only are these maps showing some throwback designs, almost back to Battlefield 2, but they're showing some extra detail and some extra innovation compared to previous DLCs, at least in my opinion. Having been mildly impressed by Operation Whiteout, very, very impressed by Giants of Carlia, and pretty impressed with Hangar 21, especially with the hangar area itself, I'm now finding myself actually being excited to try out the fourth map and to see how this DLC ends up. Props to DICE for going a little bit out in left field and trying some new things. I think it is working for them, and props to them for actually making use of CTE to get some of these bugs and balance issues ironed out before launch. It's also been pretty great to play with the new CTE features. Over the last 6 months, DICE has changed almost every element of the game, from the game's scopes, the animation timing, crouching, weapon balancing, everything has been edited. The UI has been completely overhauled. And the game feels very, very different, even outside of this Final Stand DLC preview. The combination of all of the CTE changes with the impressive new maps makes for a pretty enjoyable time so far. I'm definitely looking forward to that big fall patch coming out for the main branch of Battlefield 4 and getting some of these changes from CTE out to the rest of the community. For now though, that's my first impressions of the Final Stand CTE test and the current state of CTE in general. I hope you guys enjoyed this first look, and I will catch you guys on the next video. There's no safe cover.
Well, probably because that's their only flag. That's why.
Dude, no fucking way.
No ammo.
Second.